Chat with Double V with host Vivian Velez is a program that breaks down important national concerns, events, and stories, featuring newsmaker interviews and compelling features to add context, clarity, and answer the questions on your mind. Every Sunday from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. on Radio Bandito TV, Channel 224 Sky Cable, TV Plus boxes, GMA Afforda Box, Easy Box, and all DTT boxes. Simulcast on DZRJ 8:10 a.m. Seen on Facebook /DZRJ 8:10 a.m. and YouTube channel DZRJ 8:10 a.m. Radio Bandito.
Good Sunday afternoon, everyone. Once again, Vivian Velez on air for Chit Chat with Double V, DZRJ 8:10 a.m. Teleradio. And, it's a rainy day, stormy weather here in the Philippines. And we'll ask our special guest later on kung ano ang weather nila dyan sa Canada. But, we've been doing a series with our topic, addiction awareness and prevention on Chit Chat. And today is another exciting Sunday afternoon because of our special guest. Finally, yun nga, sabi ko, live from Canada. And it's so, I find it so special because I asked him a while ago, and it's 4 a.m. where he is right now. And so, thank you so much. Okay, let me introduce him. But before we let him speak, I really want to properly introduce him because, it is so impressive, yung kanyang mga affiliations, what he's doing right now. And so I want to read all of that, okay? He's a member of American Academy of Experts in Traumatic Stress Trauma Institute International, a certified trauma support specialist, certified trauma and resilience life coach. I think I need him now. Anyway, Forward Facing Institute Compassion Fatigue Certified Health and Wellness Coach and Consultant, Certified Professional Resilience Coach and Consultant, Professional and Education Services International. He has a dual certification in trauma and addiction, ecology, that's Academy of Modern Applied Psychology, and Neuro-Linguistic Programming Master Practitioner, Mindfulness Master Practitioner, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy Practitioner, Counseling Practitioner. And I really want to read yung kanyang professional background so we will know him better, no? A conduit of change, Poy De Lara is the founder and executive coach of One Life Group, a support group that aims to build a community that is focused on self-improvement and reciprocal altruism and believes that involvement and meaningful connection in its true form could help elevate the incidence of suicide, depression, addiction, and other behavioral disorders. Well, this group then gave birth to U-Drive Group of Coaches, a group of like-minded individuals whose mission is to provide a holistic approach to mental health care and recovery by offering an individualized, comprehensive, accessible, and affordable array of coaching services for everyone. So Poy's vision is to create a community of empowered and mental health conscious individuals where mental health issues are talked about openly, sans prejudice, and where help is readily available. This vision gave rise to creation of several support groups in the Philippines, which Poy is spearheading while living in Canada. Of course, a strong believer that empowerment comes via responsibility and that change should come from within a person. Poy is driven by hope and burning passion to guide people whose will to change for the better is stronger than the desire to remain the same. Trauma and resilience coach, Poy Gutierrez de Lara. Medyo mahaba yun po, yeah.
Yung
But
mahaba po yun.
but I really have to read it because it's so impressive, and I want our listener to know, more about you. Aside, of course, from the story that you're going to tell us this afternoon. Can you say well good morning to your side of the world?
Yes, good afternoon po dyan sa ating lahat and to all the listeners of Radio Bandido and Miss V. First of all, I just want to thank you and everybody for inviting us to be your guest today. And meron pa po kayong hindi nabanggit dun sa credentials ko. Di ba? Yung pinakamahalaga kong credentials. I always say this to people whenever they introduce me that my greatest credential is me being an addict for, I guess, half of my life. So I'm 37 and I had two, not one, but two sets of rehabs when I was 19 and then when I was 30. And syempre, yung mga nakaraang guests nyo, si Kuya Lito and si Pastor Ronnie, I really look up to them. Their the amount of time that they spent being sober, it's very, very impressive. And yung passion nila. So, I'm really humbled to be here. Kasi mga idol ko yung susundan ko. So, yeah, so that's my most important credentials.
Well,
Surviving addiction, suicide attempts, and continuously being sober while extending help to other people as much as I.
everyone, as we keep on saying that everyone has a story to tell, a lesson to teach and a wisdom to share. And this afternoon is really, we are blessed to have you and to be sharing your story. And, it's not easy. I know it's not easy to really, open up and share, as you were saying, when I was browsing your Facebook and stuff, and I learned a lot of things like, you have to have that safe space, no, to really tell your story and not anyone probably to judge you, no, on what you've been, what happened to you, and what are you doing right now, no? So minsan kasi because of the social media natin, medyo I see that it's so quick. I mean, people are so quick to judge, right? And this is not easy, but really, as I said, there's a lesson to teach and a wisdom to share from all your experiences. And as I was saying, Lito Gruet, when he first guested here last 2 weeks ago, it is a purpose-driven life, no? I mean, you have to go through this for you to be able to impart, that experience, and then, somehow give them hope and inspiration. But okay, first point, I don't even know how to even start this. Maybe you can help me out. You were addicted, diba? You were a drug addict. It's a drug, yes.
It's
At what age? At what
oh
age? Because you were so young.
yes, it was so young. I started using drugs when I was 16 or 17. And then I was rehabilitated 19 years old. So napunta ako dun sa DARE where Kuya Lito was our center director. But tama ka, yung before I forget, yung sabi mo that there's a purpose in everything. And human beings, sometimes we really suffer. Like human beings, sabi nila, life is so hard, or what are we doing here? But sabi nga ni Eric Brittens, like, the reason why we suffer is because we don't know what we're doing here. And that really struck me. My addiction started 17 because I was overweight. Malaki ako nun, like really. I was really overweight. And I kinda ate my feelings. It didn't really make sense to me why I was addicted. For so many years, I've been holding on to that thing that maybe I'm sick. Diba? Addiction is a disease. Diba? Or maybe it's my choice. Or maybe ayaw ko lang talaga. Or maybe ayaw ko lang talagang tumigil. But it all started when I got I searched for stuff that could make me lose weight. Kasi sabi ko, parang hindi ko naman matigil yung pagkain. All right. And when you are in that age, siyempre, you're full of hormones. And then, I was also thinking before we started, yung bang gender preference ko kasama doon, parang no, because I know what I really want since I was like 4. Diba? Kasama doon. At, so yun ang nasa isip ko when I was 13. So, papayat ako, ganyan. So, I had friends, turuan mo naman ako mag-drugs. It's just that simple. And from that, I used until I was supposed to be a doctor. I was supposed to be somebody that I na may pangarap ka eh. Diba? May pangarap ka. I was doing good at school. My parents were abroad at that time. They left when I was really young. And
Was
so
that
yung
a factor also, Poy, of parents, absentee parents?
you know what? There is a factor with that. Kasi mamaya, nalaman ko kasi yung story ko, how it unfolded. It unfolded like in front of my eyes like 2 years ago when I got into trauma healing. So, sabi ko, sige, magpaparehab ako. So, tumigil na ako sa mami ko. Sabi ko sa mami ko, ma, parehab mo ako because I'm using drugs. And they have no idea. Wala talaga silang idea na what are you even talking about? Like, yes. And then, sabi ko, titigil ako. Sabi nila, like any other parent or like any other relative, sige, diyan ka lang muna. Naniniwala kami sa'yo pag sinabi mong titigil ka na. Ganyan. So,
Hold on, Poy. What kind of drugs were you using at that time?
I was using shabu. And yeah, I was using shabu.
Addictive, yeah. Okay.
Yes. And dumating yung point na hindi na ako nag-enroll, hindi na ako pumapasok. I was always in a drug den. Yung sasakyan ko, pag wala akong pera, pinapasada ko yun, baka parang Divisoria, just to get money for drugs. Sorry.
Wow.
And I was a liar. Kala nila pumapasok ako, pero hindi na. Ganun nakalala. Tapos, I was always asking money. And I was always asking money from them. And they just give me money. Kasi, magaling kang estudyante sa paningin nila. Di ba? Inisip ko rin, bakit ko nagagawa yon? Di ba? Masama ba akong tao?
Yes.
Oh, ginawa ko siya ulit. Siguro masama akong tao. Di ba? Yun yung feeling ko eh. And so I got help from there. I spent a few years. Then nandun ako. Gusto ko, sabi ko, mag-resident staff ako because I don't wanna go home anymore. Parang mas masarap yung feeling ko dito. Mas at home ako.
It was voluntary when you went in. You're the one who wants to go in, right?
Yes.
For help, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It was voluntary. Kasi I think I was bottoming out. And then, meron na akong mga visions.
Bottoming out. When you say bottoming out, what does it mean?
Nandun ka na sa pinaka wala ka nang tatakbuhan. Diba? Sabi ko,
parang you're really an addict in a way that every day you have to take and you have to have drugs, right?
Yes,
and,
every day.
Yeah, every day na yun, no? Talagang, yeah, okay.
Every day yun. So when you say bottoming up, wala ka na talagang tatakbuhan, wala ka ng pera, hindi ka na makahingi. Palapit na yung araw ng graduation mo, tapos na dapat gagraduate ka, pero hindi ka gagraduate kasi hindi ka nag-enroll eh.
Oh,
diba? And then,
mabubuking ka na, in other words.
Bubuking na ako. And then, there was a time that I was driving Ito yung parang pinaka nag-click sa akin. Kasi ang trip ko noon, road trip eh. So I go to Batangas, I go to Bicol, babalik ako. Nagda-drive ako, nagising na lang ako that there's a bus na papalapit sa akin. So sabi ko, okay, like, okay, I have a problem and I should ask for help. So I got the help that I need sa there. And then I got sober. And then I took up practical nursing. And I think I had good grades, the highest honors that we can have. Tapos, nagtrabaho ako, natuto akong magsugal. Maganda yung naging trabaho ko. I worked in a call center and then I was handling people and then gabi yun, meron akong work-life balance, natuto akong magsugal. At nung natuto akong magsugal, yes, nung natuto akong magsugal, panggabi ako, sa umaga nasa casino ako. So, sugal. I needed something to keep me awake because I have to work at night. So, what I did is I went back to drugs. So, nung nag-drugs ako ulit, so it was like a fiery cocktail of everything. Sabi ko, okay, bakit bakit nag-drugs na naman ako, tapos nag-gamble ako, tapos nauubos yung pera ko, tapos nandito na naman ako. And then, so, yung unfolding ng story ko, mamaya ko pa nalaman kung bakit eh.
But this is very important, boy, because this is what because the first thing that we ask, is how do people get addicted to drugs? Or not even drugs alone, di ba? Those are the things, yung factors. Like for yourself, you said you feel the love of your parents kasi binibigyan ka pa nga rin ng pera. So you didn't have any problem when it comes to that. And I don't think you have any problem in school because I think you are highly, intelligent in a way, because you can cope up, no? So what was driving you to take all of that? It's self-indulgence lang talaga.
No, that's a very good question because I didn't think that I don't have a problem. Kasi lahat ng ganun eh, ang ganda-ganda ng buhay mo. Ang ganda ng buhay mo. Everybody loves you, but no. There was a study that was made in the 1990s by the Kaiser Permanente and CDC that increases the risk of people for various diseases and diba, for various diseases and then addiction. Sa Pilipinas, I think it's like 3 out of 4 Filipinos are exposed to, yes, exposure. So yun ang nalaman ko. So when I did the research, ano ba yun? Diba? Ano ba talaga yun? They said that adverse childhood experiences increases the rate of your susceptibility to addiction kasi may scoring po yun. So yung adverse childhood experiences is 10 questions that pertains to your experiences when you were growing from 0 to 18.
0 to 18 months?
0 to 18 years old.
Oh, 0 to 18 years old.
Yes, 0 to 18 years old. So, merong mga tanong doon that would involve physical abuse, mental and physical neglect. Kasama yun doon. There are questions like, did you feel that you weren't loved? Did you feel that you had like, did a parent or another adult in the household often swear at you, humiliate you, put you down? Diba? Hindi lang sa household, pero sa school nangyayari to. There's also a question that did a parent or another adult in the household often push, grab, slap, or throw something at you? There is a question that, of course, sexual abuse is included. Pero merong question doon that did you often feel that no one in your family often loved you or thought you were special or important? Diba?
Okay.
Merong mga tanong din na gano'n. So, meron din tanong na, sometimes, did you feel that you didn't have enough to eat? Or meron bang time na na-feel mo na kapag ka nangailangan ka ng doktor, madadala ka ng magulang mo or hindi? Yeah. Meron tanong doon that were your parents ever divorced or separated? And I'm a child of divorce.
Okay.
Meron tanong doon na was your mother or stepmother or any adult in your household, nakita mo ba silang sinaktan, minura, binato? Diba? Meron din doon, was a household member addicted to alcohol, to shabu or something? At meron ba doon, meron ba household member na mentally ill or attempted suicide? Meron din kasama din sa tanong na yon that did a household member go to prison? So, these questions are fairly normal. Diba? Sa Pilipinas, tayo mga Pilipino,
Probably half of those you'll say yes to.
I know, right? Like, this is like, normal lang yan. Oh, arte lang yan. No, but according to this study, which is a fairly big study, they studied 17,000 people.
Correct.
At yung results na nakita nila dito is the effects of toxic stress in childhood really affects the wiring of your brain. And children, they do not get traumatized with the pain. Sabi nga ni Dr. Glabermati, that they get traumatized because they're alone with that pain. And then when I realized that, kasi wala akong grace sa sarili ko dati, like, oh, I'm just an addict. Choice ko to. Choice ko to, yung nangyayari sa akin. Ang hindi ko naintindihan is, when I studied ACEs and when I studied trauma, it made sense to me that my body is telling me something that for a very long time, it's been holding on to it. Diba? Addiction.
But you're not aware, right? You are not aware.
Okay. No. Okay. I'm not aware. And I'm not aware. I thought for a very long time I was just angry. And then when I was studying trauma, my professor said, no, you're not angry. You have a tendency to react with anger, hostility, and aggression in order for you to balance yung nararamdaman mo. So what we don't understand is there's a driving force. Trauma is a disease. But addiction is a disease. But what will it mean for me if I will just focus on that? Diba? Kasi addiction is a disease. It's pathogenic.
Chronic disease, they said.
And
yeah.
Diba? So it's paternalistic. So ang problema natin, drugs. We cannot have a war on drugs because you can't have a war on inanimate objects. Addiction, sabi nga nila, sabi ni Vance Dodge, is a psychiatrist in Harvard. Addiction daw, it's a human problem that resides in people. So, base sa mga pag-aaral, it's not merely the presence of drugs. Pinag-aralan nila yon. So sabi ko, okay, I'm listening. Kasi kala ko, basta makakita lang ako ng addictive substance, kukunin ko kasi addict ako eh.
Okay, so with that thought, you're also saying not only drugs, because addiction can be many things, right? So,
yes.
We're not only talking about drugs with that addiction. Okay.
No, because addiction, diba, is any repeated behavior, substance-related or not, in which a person feels compelled to persist regardless of its negative effects sa self niya and to others. Diba? So it includes yun nga, yung compulsion and engagement dun sa behavior, preoccupation by it, yung impaired control over those behavior, lahat to may dahilan.
Craving.
Cravings, exactly. Diba? Cravings, sabi nila, compulsion, but yung mga OCD, ganun din yun, ibig sabihin, addicts like, no, because they don't crave to do that. Diba?
Right.
there's a whole scenario with that. Now, ang sabi nila, merong pag-aaral sa mga rats dati na I think it was in the 1980s kung bakit na-addict sila. So, okay, pinag-aralan nila yung heroin. So, nilagay nila yung mga rats sa isang environment, kinulong nila, in-isolate nila. So, automatically, yung mga rats, nagsiself-administer na ng heroin. So, they got addicted to it. Tapos, merong isang scientist na nagsabi, teka lang, yung rats isolated. Yung rats wala sa kanyang tunay na environment. So, ibig sabihin, those rats are stressed because when there's stress is a physiological reflex in changes in your environment.
Okay.
So, sabi nila, okay, gumawa tayo ng isang rat farm kung saan maraming rats and pagandahin natin, may air, may view, something like that. Meron dalawang choices doon. Itong masamix na liquid, there is heroin. And rats would love it. This is just like water or something. Wala siyang heroin. They found out that environment, napakadalang yung nagsiself-administer ng heroin. So, that's stress. Okay, sige, but those are rats. Let's study people. So, pinag-aralan naman nila ngayon yung sa Vietnam War. Nagpunta sila sa mga sundalo. So, most of the people daw, aminado sila, most of the soldiers have used heroin when they were there dun sa war zone.
Yeah.
Pero 10% lang ang nagkaroon ng active addiction pagbalik nila sa US. Why? Because they didn't need it anymore. So, sabi nila, ang napag-aral dun sa dalawang study na yon, tatlo yung nakita nila. That is assumed to be true in addiction. There are 3 components of addiction: the susceptible organism, the drug with an addictive potential, and stress. So, the adverse childhood experiences, nakita ko, sabi ko, saan ako na-stress nung bata ako? And sabi nga, yung stress pangkaraniwan, nakikita natin sa lahat ng bagay. And pag sinabi sa atin na umiiyak yung bata, anong response po natin? Huwag kang umiyak. Di ba? Or, okay lang yan. But there was never a person in my life who asked me, ano bang nararamdaman mo? Mula nung lumalaki ako. Ang nasa isip ko nung lumalaki ako, kaya umalis yung parents mo kasi mahal ka nila. Okay. So neurons that wire together, fire together. So kapag mahal ka ng tao, okay lang maiwan ka. So nag-fire na yon, neuron na yon.
Yeah.
Diba? Tapos, okay, kailangan para matuwa ang mami at daddy mo, mataas ang grades mo sa school. Kailangan ganyan. So naging conditional sa akin yun. Again, bata po ako nito So this is my brain developing.
Yes.
Kailangan mag-achieve ka para maging mahal ka. So there's another neuron that was there. Diba? Tapos, minsan, syempre, namamalo tayo. Meron ng kuyaya, pinapalo kami din. And kapag ayaw kong pumasok sa school, pinapagalitan ako. Kaya ka pinapalo, mahal ka. There's another neuron. Diba? Hindi naman ako madalas mapalo nun. But natatandaan ko talaga pag pinapalo. And then, pero, meron kasing positive stress. Ano yung positive stress? Aaral ka, di ba? Nag-aaral ka, and then, nag-aaral ka, after ng exams mo, medyo kapado ka pa. After nun, wala na eh. Wala na. Merong tolerable stress. So, halimbawa, unang beses na namatay yung isa sa mga kapatid ng lola ko that I was very close to, sabi, ganun talaga ang buhay, that we die. So meron akong adult na nagba-buffer dun sa nararamdaman ko. But there is a thing that's called toxic stress. What is toxic stress? Hindi lang po ito totoo sa mga bata, pero yung effects niya is mas malala sa mga bata because a child's brain is developing. And a part of our brain that is capable of handling decisions, executive functioning, rationality, morality, yung prefrontal cortex po natin, is not yet fully developed until we are 25 or 26.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Okay.
imagine niyo, ano yung nararamdaman ng bata? Halimbawa, nakakita yung bata ng yung tatay, sinaktan si nanay, okay, ano to? Hindi niya makalapit kay tatay kasi ang matatakot siya eh. Hindi dun siya makalapit dun sa nanay niya kasi iniisip niya, oh, baka ma-aggravate ko yung pain ng nanay niya. Diba? Repeatedly, pagka nangyayari to, wala silang adult. Again, children does not get traumatized by the pain, but because they're alone with that pain or with that thought, ang nangyayari is, kinikimkim niya yon sa loob niya. And pinaprocess niya yon sa sarili niya. Bakit ganito? Mahal ako, pero binubugbog ako. Mahal ako, pero pinapalo ako. Kasi ganun tayo, di ba? Kaya ka pinapalo kasi mahal ka. Okay. Yun ang nai-embed natin. Kasi mahal.
Okay,
Okay.
let me muna. Kasi yung sinasabi mong toxic stress level. But different people has different stress level, di ba?
That's right.
Merong mga tao that can take those toxic stress level higher than anyone.
That is right.
Oo.
For example, meron po tayong tinatawag, trauma po is epigenetics. It changes the way our genes are expressed. Kaya nila sinasabi sometimes, oh, iba na mga bata ngayon. Mas reactive yung mga bata ngayon. Kasi trauma gets passed on. Not the DNA, but it changes just the way that the DNAs are expressed or the genes are expressed. Now, ang sinasabi nila is, iba-iba tayo ng toxic, ng stress levels and the levels. But, kung yung isang bata po, pinanganak siya sa isang environment, halimbawa, pinanganak siya sa, yung nanay niya, nasa-stress. Nasa-stress dahil nabuntis siya. Nasa-stress dahil it's another mouth to feed. Nasa-stress dahil wala pa silang pagkakakitaan. These children na mga adopted, syempre, yung nanay nila is always stressed kasi giving up a child for adoption is always stressed. Yung bata na yon, paglabas pa lang sa sinapupunan niya, mataas na yung level ng cortisol. Why? It's also to protect us. Kasi it prepares the child for the mother's environment. Kaya po nag-iiba-iba tayo ng level ng stress. And toxic stress, mahalaga po doon magkaroon tayo ng buffer. Ang isang bata, kailangan meron at least one person in life na magba-buffer nung stress level na yon. Kasi kung wala tayong nakakausap, parang ako, pag sinasabi ko, malungkot ako kasi iniwan ako ng mama ko or ng papa ko. Wag kang malungkot, para sa iyo yun. So, it's invalidating my feelings.
Correct.
So, yun ang nararamdaman ko. So, okay. Iniwan ako kasi mahal ako. And it doesn't make sense to me. So, nung nagkaroon ako nag-fire na yun. Pag mahal ka, iniiwan ka. So, nagturon sa naman yun. And hindi ko naiintindihan yan kasi bata ako wala akong prefrontal cortex. So, sabi ko, okay. And then I struggled. Kasi bakit yung mga kasama ko sa school, magulang nila yung nagpupunta. Bakit ako yaya? But I'm doing very well. Diba? Bakit ako ganun? Pero wala akong mapagsabihan nun kasi the second time na sinabi ko na bakit wala akong magulang.
Okay.
Wala na akong pinagsabihan nun. Kasi ganun lang same thing sasabihin nila. Kasi mahal ka. Kaya nagtatrabaho sila for you. So kasalanan ko yun. Children are narcissistic. Totoo yun. Yung mga children, they always think about themselves. Nag-away si mama, si papa, kasalanan ko. Umalis si mama, si papa, kasalanan ko. Merong mga children na nag-a-adjust dun sa mood ng magulang nila. Tingin pa, oh, teka, si mama saka si papa, bad mood, ayokong humingi ng ano ko. Diba? And children does not have to adjust with our mood. Kasi meron tayong mga sinasabi, diba? Ginagalit mo na naman ako, bata ka. Ganito na naman ang ginawa mo. It's normal. Pero what does it mean for the child? Okay, ginagalit na naman kita. What were the others? Anong ginawa ko? Diba? Kasi malikot ako kasi I'm being a child. Diba? And children does not act out. So, yun yung level ng stress. So, pagdating po ng 17, what I did was, I ate.
Okay.
I ate. So, I ate kasi I felt good.
Yeah.
Bakit ganon? Why do we feel good when we eat? So sabi nila kasi, there's, we always feel good while we eat. Bukod sa if we have high stress, yung high cortisol that made us crave sugar and good foods to eat, sabi ni Stephen Porges, who formulated the polyvagal theory, when we eat, we use the muscles that we use for connection.
Okay.
So when we connect with other people, we smile, we talk, diba? It's the same muscles that we use. So it soothes us.
But
Yeah.
those are yung spectrum niyan eh. Yung iba naman hindi makakain. Totally.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Oo.
Yes. So they soothe us. Hindi sila makakain kasi we have this fight or flight. When you have high levels of cortisol, bumababa naman yung 4 neurotransmitters mo that you need for optimal health. So, bakit hindi sila makakain? Nung unang panahon, we only have, there's like a part of our brain, this is the reptilian brain, and this is the amygdala and the hippocampus, if we're looking at the brain. So, we have alarm systems ng brain para iligtas tayo. Again, stress is a biological response of the body to warn us and to keep us safe. Kasi pag sinabi natin stress,
For us to cope up, no?
yes, exactly.
Para hindi ba siya mag-overload, and then it will send us an alarm. I mean, do something about it. And so
Exactly.
okay.
Because human beings, they live in caves, di ba? So, mahalaga natin that fight or flight, dun yun yung fight, flight, or freeze natin. So, sabi niya, magpa-fight or flight ka, hindi mo kailangan kumain kung tatakbo ka and you will save your life. So, some people naman, nawawalan sila ng gana.
Yeah.
So, hindi natin naiintindihan yun. But there's something in my body that wants this. Okay, so, kumain ako, tumaba ako, ang nangyari is, naghanap ako ng way to reduce the pain because I felt bad with myself na.
Yes.
And then sinasabi pa, magpapayat ka, ang taba-taba mo. Alright?
Self-esteem mo naman ang doon, di ba?
Exactly.
Okay.
Tapos, okay, so ang nasa isip ko, wala nagpapaliwanag sa akin na magpapayat ka because you need to this is a healthy weight, ganon. So, ang nasa isip ko, ang pangit-pangit ko kasi ang taba-taba ko. Tapos I was kind of coerced into doing stuff. Again, walang maling parenting eh. Wala.
Yeah, there's no school for parents.
No. there's no manual for it.
Yeah, there's no manual.
I believe that parents have the best interest for their children. Naniniwala ako doon. Nung bata ako, siguro elementary, bago ako mag-high school, from school, mag-swimming ako. Mag-swimming ako, mag-gym pa ako. To the attempt na magpapayat ako. And I was so tired, but I was so tired na I cannot express that tiredness in my body.
You wanted a quick fix, right?
Yes.
That's what you wanted, a quick fix.
Yes, but hindi ko choice yun, yung gym saka yung swimming. Choice yun ng lola ko. Kasi kung ako lang, uupo lang ako sa bahay. Diba? Galing ako ng school eh. Or maglalaro lang ako. Sabi ko, ganito na ba yung kailangan kong gawin para magpapayat? So, dumagdag pa yung kailangan mong mag-gym, kailangan mong mag-exercise. You have to, you have to, you have to. So, it's like a language of coercion. And if there's a language of coercion, lalo na sa sarili natin, it creates more stress. So, mataas na yung cortisol level ko kasi meron akong mga adverse childhood experiences. All of this happened before I was 18 na. And then, nadadagdagan pa. And I don't know how to process it. So, sabi ko sa classmate ko, mag-drugs tayo. Nung nag-drugs kami, okay, natutuyo yung lips ko, wala akong ganang kumain. And I felt good. I felt good. I felt calm. Hindi ako malikot. I felt serenity. It's like a warm hug.
Wow.
So, all my feelings, lahat ng stress ko, nawala. And then, because it felt good, and then I was growing up, it felt like it's the only way, na-interpret ko yun, at this is the only way for me to cope, to not suffer, and to survive whatever it is that's happening with my body. Kasi hindi ko naiintindihan yun. It didn't make sense to me. Kasi ang pagkakaintindi natin sa drugs, it's a human choice. Like, choice mo yan eh. Pinili mo yan. But again, if we are in high levels of stress, meron po tayong tinatawag na window of tolerance. If we're in high levels of stress, it's either we're hyper-aroused, nandito yung anger, aggression, hostility, nandyan yung assertiveness, being controlling, yung mga control freak, diba? Interference ng emotional learning, nandito po yan sa taas pag wala na tayong pakialam sa tao. Or, we can be hypo-aroused. Ito naman, yung hypo-arousal, ito naman yung we feel numb, we go to addiction, we want to dissociate, we want to always have comfort, nasa bahay lang tayo kasi hindi tayo maka-cope up. So, ito yung mga nagkukulong. Yung dalawang responses po na yun, hindi active yung ating prefrontal cortex. We cannot make decisions. Addiction, I have a bias here. Addiction in high levels of stress is not a choice. It's an attempt to put your body back to the window of tolerance. So, I look at addiction, yes, to that level na nakakapag-isip ka, di ba? Na you feel good about yourself, na kaya mong i-handle lahat ng stress. And that is a coping mechanism. That is a state. Sometimes states like being angry, being sad, it becomes a trait in the long run if it's not mitigated. So it's addiction being a disease, it's just a part of it. It's just a part of it. Now what we do is we look at it as a whole. Itong addict na to, ano pa yun?
Yeah, but but it's not a one-person phenomenon.
No.
I mean, it's not a one-person thing. Like what you're saying, okay, because, it's not tolerable. So, my brain is telling me to cope up and stuff like that. But then eventually, it's not only you, diba, who suffers. Yung mga ganyan, diba?
Yes.
Oo.
Because yun nga po eh, we cannot make decisions now. There's no morality.
Yeah.
There's no morality when our prefrontal cortex is jacked up. So, hindi na natin naiisip.
It overtakes your life altogether,
Yes.
diba?
And not only your life, but the life of the people around you. And kaya po sa approach namin, one of the biggest strengths of being in there and being in Springwells nung nag-rehab ako is human connection. That it's very important. So you can relate. And why is it very important? I believe that nagagawa na to ng mga tao or ng mga rehab centers natin, like the connection of one peer to another. We call rather than approaching addiction in a pathogenic way, I think what works well for me is the salutogenic approach to things. Ano yung salutogenic approach to things? This focus on the person's competencies. And this focus on self-regulation muna. Ako kasi, it makes sense to me that when my client approaches me, hindi ko muna siya kakausapin ng lahat. I will just teach that client to self-regulate. Why? Because it's the root of everything. When you cannot regulate yourself kasi hindi mo na alam yung nararamdaman mo because of too much stress, andun ka sa labas ng window, you cannot talk sense to that person. Kasi wala siya dun sa window wala siya dun sa loob ng window. So kahit anong gawin mo sa kanya, na coaching, na therapy, hindi niya ma-absorb yun. Because again, the thinking part of our brain is offline when we are in high stress levels. Diba? So, you teach them to self-regulate. And then, you teach psychoeducation. That you make them know that it's not their choice. You let them know that they are responding to what their body is telling them. They are responding to something that they don't recognize, that they might not recognize.
But that is the explanation of saying that it is a chronic disease, right?
It is one part of that. But for the disease to go, kasi I understand na pag marami ng, for example, umiinom tayo dun sa well, may isang nagkasakit, baka yung tao yun. Diba? It's the disease. But you have to go through the well pag marami na sila. So ano ba talaga yun? So I understand that it is a chronic disease because it is unaddressed.
Mm-hmm.
We may be addressing the wrong things. We may be addressing baka hindi kompleto yung approach natin to addiction, because in order for us to balance stress, we need 4 stuff. Secure connection, yung makikinig tayo, di ba? Self-regulation, self-care, peer support, and purpose. Yun yung nagbabind sa lahat ng yon. So if it's incomplete, sabi ko nga, ilang beses na ako na-rehab, di ba? Bakit ganon?
So labas-pasok ka, labas-pasok ka ng rehab?
Yeah, twice ako na-rehab. Sabi ko, bakit ganon? 2 beses na akong na-rehab. Nung second rehab ko, I decided.
Relapse ka, no? Nagkaroon ka na ng relapse.
Nag-relapse talaga ako, and the second one was worse. Kasi medyo nakatabingi na yung ulo ko, I stutter. Yeah, hindi ako makakapagsalita ng ganito. I pill roll and everything. I'm very, very iba talaga. I saw a picture of me like 2012. It's the worst.
There's no trace of that. There's no trace of that, yes.
Pero marami po akong nakalimutan. So, okay. And then marami ako nakalimutan sa past, mga ginawa ko. I can't remember some details. And I'm not as sharp as I was before. So, kailangan ko na palaging organized kasi pag hindi, I jack up. Again, sabi nyo nga, it's a chronic disease. Mararamdaman ninyo. You have to be aware sa sarili mo kung ano yung sinasabi ng katawan mo. Because sometimes, pag hindi ka nakinig sa sinabi ng katawan mo, you will interpret it the wrong way. So, the body keeps the score. hindi ako na hindi ako nagsasalita. Hindi ako nagsasalita ng mga nararamdaman ko. Kahit ngayon, nadala ko 'yun, 'di ba? That the body kept the score. May mga times na sobrang sumasakit yung mga katawan ko. Ibig sabihin, nasa stress na ako nun. Kagaya ngayon, nakataas yung balikat ko. Ibig sabihin,
Baba mo yan, Troy. Okay lang.
so I will regulate. I will regulate. Diba? I will regulate. And you have to be connected with the body. Kasi ang akala ko dati, ang makakapagpakalma lang sa akin ay drugs. Akala ko dati, yeah, like there's a hungry ghost inside of me that needs it. And yun, so there are a lot of factors that we need to take a look at,
Yeah. Yes.
especially when dealing with addiction. And if we want to prevent addiction, kasi lahat po tayo, di ba? Addiction prevention, addiction awareness, di ba? There's a lot of awareness. Go ahead.
Yeah, but let me stress the point of, as you were saying, kasi yung mga factors, no? Because it is easy, I mean, kailangan talaga kasi maintindihan ko ano yung mga factors na yun for us to be able to, weave around that, like, but for instance, what you're saying, it's like, parang normal lang, no? Because like as parents, some parents can be very strict. Some parents can be very lax. Some parents can be, on the way they talk. I mean, kasi hindi naman sila, yung mga iba, hindi naman worldly, hindi naman sila so they don't read. So whatever was passed on, wala na sa panahon, like for instance, nung mga araw, pwede kang paluin, okay lang yon. Kasi nakikita mo lahat ng mga kaibigan mo, pinapalo naman sila pagka meron silang mga ginawang hindi maganda. Pero ngayon, wala na sa panahon na pwede ka nang paluin. Kasi parang iba na yata mga bata ngayon na sinasabi nila, you cannot spank or you cannot So, I mean, it adjusted. Nag-a-adjust siya. So, yung factors of why people get addictive and why people doesn't, yun nga yung sinasabi ko, minsan, pagka nag-take ka ba ng isang addict ng drugs, maa-addict ka na. How many times you have to use it for you to be addictive? Parang ang sinasabi mo sa akin, Poy, it is not really the substance, but how you see it, right? How you, the brain on how it works, no? Parang ganon. But what I know is, I've talked to some of my friends who used shabu. Ang sinasabi, kasi sila parang experimental lang. Sige nga, try lang natin, barkadahan or whatever, try nga natin yan. Pero ang sinasabi nila sa akin, ang shabu daw was really highly, highly addictive. Meaning, even if you want to stop already, hindi mo siya may stop unless you get help. Is that true?
There's a truth in that. There's a truth in that. But syempre po,
yung mga nakikinig sa atin, baka akala nila, hindi. Ganito.
No,
hindi naman siya na-addict. So, ita-try ko na lang yan, di ba? Parang ganon. Anyway, I can leave it, di ba? Kasi sabi nung friends ko, hindi, kasi nag-try naman akong iba. Kaya ko naman, iniwanan ko na, tapos na, di ba? Na-try ko lang. Pero yung shabu daw, when they tried it, they couldn't stop. So
they said that shabu is like, or meth is really, really highly addictive.
Okay.
And another thing that is equally addictive to it is nicotine. So, ano pinagkaiba nilang dalawa?
I stopped smoking already for like 10, 12 years already.
Di ba po? Congratulations.
Yeah, but it was like when I just said I stop, I want to stop, and that's it. I stopped. Kasi I just tried the smoking. It's because everybody was parang social. Papunta ka sa club o lahat nagsisigarilyo. Parang ganun lang. But well, yeah. Okay, but still that is addiction, right?
Exactly po. Pero anong sinasabi natin? Kasi hindi naman siya na-addict, but not all people who took shabu or who took heroin or who took cocaine, di ba, addict doon. So again, the addictive substance is one component.
Isa lang yon.
Isa lang yun sa mga component. And shabu is like a lot of times more addictive than any other drug. Totoo po yun. because it suits us, it comes us. But again, we don't know the history of the person. We don't know the age score. Diba? Ano bang pinagdaanan nitong tao na to? What level of stress does she have nung panahon na gumamit siya? Diba? Kasi the more, para po tayo, pag nasarapan tayo sa isang bagay or sa isang restaurant, babalik-balik tayo doon. Or kapag halimbawa, nagpamassage tayo, stress na stress yung katawan natin, and then we get relief, babalik tayo. Pero pag nagpamassage tayo, pero nasaktan lang tayo doon, hindi na tayo babalik. Diba? Because our brain responds differently.
That's right.
And yes, shabu is important. Mahalaga yan. Tanggalin natin yung droga, which is very hard to do. So, ano po yung things na meron tayong control of? We can be co-regulating with each other. Kung gusto natin tong i-prevent, we should have information, not only the drugs itself and the effects of drugs, which is very important, but also, if you want to prevent this, we start with the basic unit of the family. Or the basic unit of the society, which is the family. So, we should have trauma-informed parents, trauma-informed schools, trauma-informed police officers. Kasi sa society natin, pag may napatay na addict, sasabihin lang nila, buti nga sa'yo, addict ka. Like, there's like a schadenfreude with that. Parang, bakit tayo ganun? What society have we become? Diba? And the reason why I'm focusing on stress is because this is something that we can do something about.
True.
And if we don't feel the need to use, at pag wala nang bumibili, di magbibenta pa ba?
Correct.
Yeah. So, this is something that we can control.
So, you're saying you need to acknowledge your stress, di ba? I mean,
yes.
Because some people, minsan hindi nila alam stressed sila, right?
That's right.
Oo, na hindi nila ina-acknowledge that I'm stressed out or something. But people are so easy sometimes. I hear people say, I'm so stressed. Ako rin, parati ko sila, stress ako ngayon, so I need to relax or something. So, meaning, but they have to acknowledge that they are stressed, di ba?
Yes. And stress is not a negative thing. Like fear is not a negative thing too. Because again, it's your body adjusting.
You're not a person anymore if you're not stressed, di ba?
Exactly.
Tao, robot ka na, di ba? Oh.
Exactly. And there's no such thing as a stress-free life. Kasi po, kailangan natin ng stress to move. Kailangan natin ng certain level of stress. Di ba?
Yeah.
And kasi when we talk about stress, it's all negative. Bakit ganun? So we need to change our perception of that. How can stress be bearable? Kasi meron pong dalawang klase yun. Relaxation and self-regulation. Pag sabi, mag-relax muna ako. So you have to step away. Pero when you regulate...
Mag-relax ka, but not with drugs.
No. Diba? You have to step away. It's something that's in us that we want a quick fix. Palagi. Kasi, I don't know, we always battle with time. Diba? Bakit tayo laging nagmamadali? But when we think about it, there's always, we do stuff to dissociate from stress.
But, Paul, let me interject first, no? Ako kasi, the way I alam mo, sinabi ko rin do kay Lito, because we nasa iisang industriya kami sa showbiz, and we know people that really, I mean, of course, one of them is him, no, that really got into drugs and all of that because of what influence na rin and what not, no. Ako kasi, I was also in the same environment as Lito was even saying. I mean, sa showbiz, karamihan ng artista gumagamit, director, I mean, the writer, everyone around you uses it. And I was, of course, my other colleagues also will always say, oh, Velez, try mo, blah, 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 and all of that, no? But, I've never been addicted. And because from a young age, I keep on saying to myself that life is difficult. Life is not easy. So that means I don't expect my life to be easy. So when I don't expect my life is to be easy, then I know that life is really difficult. Then my coping mechanism kicks in. Kasi talaga namang mahirap ang buhay, di ba? So, you need to cope and you're not entitled. No one is entitled for a stress-free, as you were saying, Hoy, di ba? Na kasi people are so entitled to say that pag na-stress ako, I'm entitled to use drugs. Ganun ba yun? Ganun ba yun, Pai?
They sometimes do. Yeah. But gusto ko po yung sinabi ninyo that you expected, di ba, that life to be stressful. Because stress occurs when demands or expectations are presented.
Uh-huh.
Pero paano niyo po natutunan na ang buhay ay stressful? Saan niyo po natutunan yan?
Nakikita ko in my environment, nakikita ko sa buhay ko, nakikita ko sa lahat. I mean, to parents, to parating may problema. Hindi po pwedeng walang problema because, problems is there to be solved, di ba? Nagkaroon din ako ng buhay kasi po na parang stress-free, na talagang parang, especially financially, that you're okay already, you don't have to work, you don't have to, alam mo na, isa kasi yung nakaka-stress is really financial, di ba? So when you came to a point like that, nakakatawa. Kasi nagtatawagan ko mga kaibigan ko, anong problema mo? Kasi gusto ko makarinig ng problema. Kasi pag wala ka ng problema, parang, you get to be eccentric, you think of other things, pag wala ka naman problema. So it would be better for you to have a problem to solve things. Otherwise, wala ka iso-solve, hindi mo na nagagamit yung utak mo, I mean, to that point, no? So, you went to that spectrum of, sige nga, stress-free life ka, wala kang iisipin, wala ka ng lahat yan, ibinigay na sa'yo. O ano pang gagawin mo sa buhay mo? Di ba parang ganon?
Yes, that is right. And we all learned, we create meaning to things because of our past experiences and the learnings that we have. Hindi man po sa atin, pero sa ibang tao. Diba? Sabi nyo nga, sa magulang nyo, natutunan ko yan. Sabi sa mga
friends, and even friends.
Right. And those stuff that we learn, we respond to them. We adapt to them. Those are our learnings, our past learning. So, kaya nga po, iba-iba ang tao. There's no such. Kaya pag nagko-coaching ako, talagang tinitailor ko based dun sa tao na yon. Why? Kasi, ano yung history nitong tao na to?
Yes.
Diba? Ano yung history of resilience niya? Ano yung history ng failure niya? So, ganun yung ginagawa natin. Ano yung lessons na natutunan niya? Bakit siya nagkaganito? So, it's holistic. It's holistic. Ganun po natin siya tinitingnan.
Okay, we're going to break for a commercial and then pag-uusapan natin. Ang isang stress yata na hindi talaga medyo mahirap makakope, pag in love ka, na broken heart ka, parang yan yata yung pinaka-stressful na, ang dami kong nakikita na pag yung mga na broken heart talaga, yun na talaga napakahirap pag-usapan natin yan after this commercial break, boy. Thank you.
Education Radio, hosted by Pia Morato, is on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Radio Bandito TV, Channel 224 Sky Cable, TV Plus boxes, digital free-to-air Channel 29, Facebook.com/DZRJ 810 a.m. and YouTube channel DZRJ 810 a.m. Radio Bandito. This brings service to all educators and learners of every age. The program guests include secretaries, dignitaries, ambassadors, lawmakers, professors, volunteers, and heroes, all dedicated to contribute to this valuable advocacy. We take the streets to the classroom and the classroom to the streets. Chachahin Mo Baby is a news-oriented program that tackles topical issues and headlines with the support of DZRJ field reporters. Hosted by the legendary Jimmy Morato, Monday to Friday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Radio Bandito TV, Channel 224 Sky Cable, TV Plus Boxes, Digital Free-to-Air Channel 29, DZRJ 810 a.m., Facebook.com/DZRJ 810 a.m., and on YouTube channel DZRJ 810 a.m. Radio Bandito.
May problema ka ba sa asawa, kaibigan, katrabaho, boss o negosyo? Tanong mo, sagot nila attorney. Mag-PM lang ng inyong problema at sasagutin iyan live ng abogado ng bayan na sina attorney Nikki De Vega at attorney Carlo Nicolas. Libreng payo ng abogado mula kina attorney Nikki at attorney Carlo. Ang Buhay at Batas ay isang programa na nagsasanib ng samut-saring mukha ng buhay at iba't ibang aspekto ng batas. Sabi nga nila, ang buhay ay parang batas. Paminsan mahirap, pero may abogadong tutulong sa'yo. Watch them every Tuesday from 12 noon to 1 p.m.
on Radio Bandito TV,
Channel 224 Sky Cable, Free-to-Air Channel 29, TV Plus Boxes, DZRJ 810 a.m., Facebook.com/DZRJ 810 a.m. or on YouTube channel
DZRJ 810 a.m. Radio Bandito. Contra Birada is back on Radio Bandito TV, simulcast on DZRJ 810 a.m. Hosted by former spokesperson and chief legal counsel of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, Attorney Salvador Sal Panelo. Watch and listen as he talks about the latest news topics and events. Monday to Friday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Sky Cable Channel 224, all DTT boxes, Facebook.com/DZRJ 810 a.m. and YouTube channel DZRJ 810 a.m. Radio Bandito.
Be enlightened with inspiring stories. Interesting biblical features. And insightful interviews with the pillars of our Catholic faith. Power to Unite with Elvira.
UGM, Ugnayang Gobyerno at Mamamayan. Ang programang humuhugot sa mga isyung may kinalaman sa pang-araw-araw nating buhay at tumatalakay sa halo-halong usapin na may kabuluhan sa ating lahat at may pake sa bawat isang mamamayan. Ginagawa ang pagtatalakay sa istilong umpukan at masayang kwentuhan. Bukod sa mga balita ni Mastermind Raul Vertudazo, hinihimay din ng UGM kung bakit mahalaga sa atin ang mga desisyon ng gobyerno at kung ano ang magiging epekto nito sa ating pang-araw-araw na buhay. Nagbibigay impormasyon din kung ano-ano at aling-aling ahensya ang pwedeng tumulong at tumugon sa problema ng mga mamamayan. Nagbibigay din ng kaalaman ang UGM sa mga bagay na may kinlaman sa pagmamayari ng lupa upang magkaroon ng kalasag ang mga iligal na pinapaalis, dinedemolis at inaagawan ng lupa ng mga land grabbers. Kaya wag tantanan ang UGM, Ugnayang Gobyerno at Mamamayan, Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 5 hanggang alas 7 ng umaga. Gumising ng maaga at tumutok sa Radio Bandito TV para inform ka. Watch Monday to Friday from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m.
on Radio Bandito TV,
Channel 224 Sky Cable, Free-to-Air Channel 29, TV Plus Boxes, DZRJ 810 a.m.
Chit Chat with Double V with host Vivian Velez is a program that breaks down important national concerns, events, and stories, featuring newsmaker interviews and compelling features to add context, clarity, and answer the questions on your mind. Every Sundays from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. on Radio Bandido TV, Channel 224 Sky Cable, TV Plus boxes, GMA Affordabox, Easy Box, and all DTT boxes. Simulcast on DZRJ 8:10 a.m. Seen on Facebook /DZRJ 8:10 a.m. and YouTube channel DZRJ 8:10 a.m. Radio Bandido.
Okay, we're back with Chit Chat with Double V, and of course with our special guest, Poy Gutierrez de Lara, our life coach for today. And Poy, alam mo, marami kang fans. Gusto ko munang mag-shout out dito sa mga mo at mga katropa ko yan. Galing yan kay Mark Davis, Yes Cortez, and of course kay Jackie Tunggol, life coach namin yan with two hearts pa, with double hearts. Tapos Sheena, it's a form of mitigation, probably the one that we're discussing kanina. And of course, kay Bear Platon, hi Bear, good afternoon, sabi niya. And of course, from Jen, yes, sobrang laki ng help ng You Drive Trauma Informed Philippines and Coach Boy and all coaches sa grupo. Ayan, mga nagpa-shout out sa'yo. And yes, so let's go back to our discussion kanina nung tayo ay naputol na ating commercial. So, I'm sure maraming nakikinig. I don't know if you want to answer this boy or if there's an answer to it. Paano naman yung heartbroken? Kasi ang dami ko rin mga kaibigan. Mga tinatanong sa bakit ka ba na dyan sa drugs? How did you get addicted? And mga ganyan. Kasi na-heartbroken ako. Parang mga ganyan. So may mga ganon, no? So, I mean, for them to forget, of course, it's really more on sometimes drugs can make them probably escape reality. Yung mga ganon, yung talagang immediate pain that they're feeling. Meron bang solusyon dito?
Meron po. Always. There's always a solution to this and everything. Gusto ko lang po i-clarify. The stress that we're talking about is toxic stress po. That's not the good type of stress. So it's toxic stress. And una, ang question ko, bakit tayo, most of the human interactions and most of the problems na natin as human beings is relational. So, not only we can get heartbroken by our parents, we can get heartbroken by our crush, we can get heartbroken by our loved one, our friends, di ba? Pero, bakit? Kung tatanungin niyo po ako kung merong solution dito, yes. Kagaya ng any other change. Again, this is based on the history of the person. Ilang beses na siyang iniiwan. What narrative ang sinasabi niya sa sarili niya? Kaya iniwan ako, siguro kasalanan ko. Kaya iniwan ako, siguro I'm not lovable. What is it that you're holding on to? Anong narrative yun? Bakit ka iniwan ng boyfriend mo?
Anong bagay? Tawag nila baggage.
Exactly. Right? Diba? Ano yung sinasabi mo sa sarili mo? Kasi pag tayo, nilayuan tayo ng mga tao, baka I'm unlovable, baka pangit ako, baka it's always about us pag nasasaktan tayo. Mm-hmm. Diba? We don't think about other people. And for this to happen, what do we need? We need secure connections. Kaya yung iba, they cling on to friends. Kaya naman tayo, sabi nila, di ba, peer pressure, nakakapag, isa yan sa mga malalaking factors ng drug addiction. Tama po yun. But what is in peer pressure that gets children or people hooked dahil doon? Because of the connection. Because as human beings, we cannot survive alone. Tayo po, is naghahanap talaga tayo ng secured connection. Kaya sasabihin nila, sige, lulunurin ko na lang sa drugs or lulunurin ko na lang sa alcohol or magsusugal na lang ako or mag-shopping na lang ako para mawala yung nararamdaman kong void sa sarili ko. Because we think and we're hoping that if we feel that, diba, somewhat, we can connect with other people and we could connect with ourselves. Kasi, una, iniisip natin sa atin may mali. Pangalawa, iniisip natin may kulang sa atin. Pangatlo, we are under the impression that mitigation or like mitigation, pag sinabi pong mitigation is yung nilalayo natin yung sarili natin or dinidetach natin yung sarili natin dun sa stressor or dun sa thoughts na iniisip natin sa mga alaala, ng heartache natin, that it could make it better. So, the source of all addiction, hindi man po traumatic stress. Na, I'm not saying that lahat ng with history ng trauma magiging addict, right? But somewhat all addiction is rooted from a pain or a void that we wanted to fill. Ano po ang solusyon dito? We have to balance it out. So kung nagsistress tayo, again, we have 4 secure connections, which is maraming mga bata ang hindi nakakakuha nito. Kaya pagdating sa adult, pag iniwan siya, ibig sabihin, ako na naman. So ako na naman ang may kasalanan, kaya ako iniiwan. Or I need to hold on to this relationship really, really bad because baka hindi na ako makakita ng taong magmamahal sa akin because I'm unloved. Diba? Pag tayo may secured connection or secured attachment, nabubuo po yan nung bata tayo. Because we're taught na kahit magkamali ako, there's always the mother and the father or the tito, the tita that will hug me and say everything is okay. Kung nakita po natin yun. There are other attachment styles na nabubuo. Kadalasan po yung mga talagang merong attachment issue nung pag lumalaki tayo are those na merong insecure na attachment na kaya pala ako iniiwan kasi kasalanan ko. Alright? And there's no other person na nagpaliwanag sa kanila ng maayos at nag-validate sa nararamdaman nila. Second, self-regulation. Self-regulation has techniques. You have a routine, you eat well, di ba? You breathe, totoo po yun. You relax your body. Kasi pag nasa stress tayo, like with toxic levels of stress, you don't know, na naka-clench yung muscles natin. Pwede po kayong maghanap ngayon ng any muscle in your body that's really tight and just release it and you will really feel that. And then, you get online. When you are regulated, you're online. You can think for yourself. You can decide kung ano ang healthy, kung ano ang hindi. You can say na, okay, I am now regulated. Do I want to use drugs? No. Do I feel the need to use drugs? No, kasi regulated eh. Should I use drugs? No. Iinom ba ako ngayon o magbabasa na lang ako? Or maglalakad na lang ako? Or do something like that? Or just mag-gym na lang ako? You can think. You can decide for yourself on what's the right thing to do. Third, self-care. Sige. I will regulate myself and I will care for myself. Siguro pag heartbroken ako, matutulog ako 1-2 araw and that's okay. That's okay. And then you get up. And then you eat well. And then you regulate your sleep. And then you exercise. And then bawas sa inflammatory foods and those stuff that contributes to your toxic stress level. And
Meron
then you
bang food na ganyan, ano? Merong food.
meron po.
Crispy
We
pata. Kasama ba yung crispy pata?
Oh my God, don't even start with si Pat. Like,
Okay.
doon po sa mga ano natin, it's like, meron kaming total different session about food and nutrition, how it helps with our stress level. Makikita nyo dun yung talagang mga pagkain na a lot of sugar, which we crave, that it's not really healthy for us. Stress po kasi, or toxic stress causes inflammation. And then there are a lot of food that adds up to that inflammation. So yung mga
I didn't know
pro-inflammatory.
that. Okay.
Diba? So there's a totally different, maybe it's for another day, but yeah, it kasama po yun. Because we need to have a healthy life. Because we need to have our body on its balance. Kasi if not, we look for ways to put it back to balance. And peer support. Kaya napakahalaga po ng mga support group. Kaya ang ginagawa po namin, I have a support group specifically for addicts. That's every Thursday at 8 p.m. Manila time. That's the One Life Recovery Hub. I have a support group for trauma survivors. We don't talk about trauma in the Philippines. I don't know why. At pag nakita niyo po to.
Yeah, please elaborate on all of this, on what, kasi yung mga may nakikinig sa atin, kung meron sila, right now, if they're really having difficulties, no, on how they can reach out. And sino yung mga pwede nilang, whoever can, kasi dito sa Philippines, unlike in the US or in Canada, I think they're more active, mas maraming tatawag ka lang sa telepono and you can talk to someone. Meron ba tayo dito sa Philippines? And then, can you please elaborate your, you drive, and kasi yun yung mga nakikita ko dito.
Opo. So the U Drive group of coaches is, right now we have a drive called Trauma Informed Philippines. So together with 3 other coaches, there's Coach Ara, Coach Rowie, and Coach Sheena, we are now promoting the awareness of adverse childhood experiences. So, kung gusto po natin ng magkaroon ng trauma-informed schools, just call U-Drive. Alam ko, nakikinig kayo. So, if you wanna post the comments dun sa comment section ng number ng U-Drive, para sa mga nakikinig sa atin, Coach Sheena.
You are on Facebook, diba? You are
Yes.
in Facebook. Okay.
Yes, we are in Facebook. That's UDRIVE, U-Drive Group of Coaches. Punta po kayo doon. You can send us a message, I need help, and somebody will always reply to you.
Wow.
And the support groups that we have, again, every Thursday is gonna be One Life Recovery Hub. That's for addicts, alcoholics, and gamblers. For trauma recovery naman, we have a Step Forward Trauma Support Group. That's every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Manila time. Dito po, you will share. Pwede po kayong makinig lang. Pwede kayong just observe what other people is going through. And the connection that we have, it's a safe space. We don't even comment with each other. Not unless humingi sila ng feedback dun sa sinishare nila. It's just a safe space for us to share our thoughts, our feelings, yung mga pinagdadaanan natin. Share kami ng mga wins namin when it comes to self-regulating, ng mga failures namin when it comes to self-regulating. This is every week. We also have a Step Forward Trauma Recovery Group for youth, which is for ages 12 to 19. Monthly basis po ito. Meron kami ngayong 5.
Is there a place where they can go?
No, this is all online po.
Online, okay. All
Yes,
right.
this is all online and this is all free. Ang mga support group po namin, free po ito lahat.
Wow.
Yes, free po ito lahat. Meron din po kaming Step Forward Trauma Recovery Group, Rainbow Space naman for members of the LGBT. Once a month din po ito. So those are the support groups that we have and we make available. Kasi naniniwala nga po ako sa reciprocal altruism. I can help myself by helping you and you can help me by helping yourself. So ganun po yung whole dynamics namin. I have a vision for a trauma-informed Philippines, starting with schools, trauma-informed teachers, di ba? Sabi ko nga po, kung gusto natin nang i-prevent ang drugs, let's look for ways to prevent them for seeking drugs. Di ba?
You can start as early as grade school, right?
Yes.
Oo,
Yes,
like,
kaya
yeah.
kaya po ngayon yung mga teens namin, yung mga teens na kliyente namin, we tell them that, okay, this is a safe space. You can tell us what you do. Minsan hindi nila na-identify yung feeling nila. We help them identify kung ano yung nararamdaman nila. And now, pagka sinachat kami ng mga teens namin, okay, so this is what I'm going through. Okay, go on. So, how did that happen? Because of this. So, they know already kung saan nanggagaling yung nararamdaman nila. They're able to identify na. So, they can't say na, I don't know what I did. I don't know what's happening to me, kaya I need drugs. I don't know what's happening to me. All I need was human connection. And sabi ko nga po, if everybody, lahat ng adult, would be involved sa isang bata to provide that connection.
Boy, this is very, very important on what you're saying. This is very critical because I do understand, especially in schools. Kasi nung araw, nung nasa eskwela pa kami, ang tawag dito is counselor. Di ba? Parang nasa office ka. Pero pagka napupunta ka sa counselor, parang ibig sabihin nun, may kasalanan ka. Di ba? I mean, you know, right? And then people, oh, ba't nasa counselor ka, counsel siya or something. But I hope that we can change that whole setup because, you know, as life coaches like yourself can really, you know, be in a university, in a college, in a school, or even a grade school that can really, you know, start as early as this, as the one you're saying, yung mga teenagers, especially teenagers, no? I think the setup, di ba, of what you're doing now should extend, di ba, to the schools. Are you doing something like that right now?
Yes, we are open to schools na gustong magkaroon ng trauma-informed care for educators. Kasi po, merong study, I think so, nagkaroon sila ng isang focus sa isang school na like mga delinquent students yung nandun. And then they incorporated trauma-informed care. 90% of the students nakagraduate.
Wow.
So, ito yung kailangan natin. We need a good structure na yung mga teachers natin, pag may nakita sila, are you in distress? Or, kasi pag, di ba, may high levels of traumatic stress yung bata. Pumasok siya sa school, nakakita siya ng isang batang walang stress sa katawan. Like, hi, how are you? So, unfamiliar po yun dun sa bata. So, natatakot siya. So, pwede niyang i-shove yun, pwede niyang itulak, pwede siyang lumayo. Anong nakita ng mga teacher? Ang nakita ng mga teacher, batang salbahe. Kasi inaway niya isang bata. Pero hindi natin alam kung anong nangyayari sa bahay ng bata na yan, sa isip niya. Diba? So, yun po, mahalaga po yan, trauma-informed schools, trauma-informed rehab centers, trauma-informed sa mga jails, trauma-informed officers. Lahat po sa US, meron na po silang mga ganitong mga drive. And it gives back humanity.
Even teachers, diba, should go into this kind of seminar so they can identify if somebody is really going through difficulties, right?
Yes, that is right. And yung mga teachers po natin, sila yung second parents natin. Nagkaroon po kami ng ACE awareness seminar sa Kabuyao. And meron po kaming mga teachers na in-invite. Sabi nga nila, dapat ito is kasama sa curriculum or dun sa mga, dapat merong mga seminar for the teachers kasi we don't know the science. And sila po, yung mga palagi nakakasama ng mga bata. And that's what I'm driving for the next 5 years. I might be at a loss kapag sinabi kong gusto ko trauma-informed Philippines. hindi pa po ako nawawalan ng pag-asa sa Pilipinas. We can all be compassionate. We can bring back humanity.
This is a start, boy. It's a beginning. I
For
mean,
those people, naghahanap po kami ng funding to like seed funds for our foundation so we can impart more. Ang pangarap ko isang center na there are for rehabs, for trauma, for displaced individuals. Diba? Napakalaking issue po nito because we can have or we can prevent a lot of things just by securing the connection of our children. So in 5 years, Trauma Informed Philippines, if you want to help us out, please reach out to us. If you want to be a part of our seminars, please reach out to us. If you want your company, institution to be trauma informed, please reach out to you, Dive Group of Coaches. Popost po namin sa comments yung aming mga Facebook page. And I would like to thank you again, Ms. B.
thank you, boy. You know what? I mean, an hour and a half is not good. Sabi ko, dapat may additional pa na another 30 minutes. But of course, this is not going to be the last episode that we're going to do. You know, my program is always open to you guys anytime that you need help or anything that you want to impart. No, you know, it is really you know, there's a parang you've created something for a purpose, di ba? Parang yung life mo has intention now, and that's what we're keep on saying to our speakers before you, and you know, sana matulungan nyo ang Pilipinas, lalo na dito sa ating mga kabataan, ano, and to really yung wisdom mo, you know, to share and your experiences. Thank you so much, Paul. But please, you know, as we're saying, you know, our goal is to love ourselves, di ba? That is our goal. And of course, yung mga nakikinig naman sa atin, recovery is only, it's a progression, di ba? It's not perfection. So, meaning, you know, as we go along, then, you know, ang dami like you yourself, oh my God. You know, thank you, Poy. Gutierrez Lara, and thank you for waking up so early in the morning there in Canada. You want to say bye-bye to everyone and to your fans.
So maraming salamat po for inviting me here. This is again a start. Hindi ko not in my life have I imagined that I will be here with you. At maraming salamat po sa lahat ng nakinig. Hopefully, may natutunan po kayo. It's a very bad topic. Pero again, You Drive Group of Coaches po ay nandyan. You can follow me on Facebook. That's Poy Delara. And you can also follow us, You Drive Group of Coaches. And we will be there for you. Hindi po kayo nag-iisa. There's always a safe space.
Okay, so next Sunday again, I mean for the whole July, yung ating prevention, drug awareness or addiction awareness. Thank you so much, Poy, again, you know, and we'll see you again next Sunday. Bye-bye.